I love dark and morbid things in my video games and in my movies. I'm a big fan of series like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Hellraiser. I like horror games, I like survival horror games. So this game, Agony, that's recently released, was kind of on my radar, to be honest with you. It seemed like it had a cool setting, it seemed like it was doing something kind of different in the world of survival horror stuff. Sort of a throwback to older games, but it looked like it was going to be fun. It looked like it was a game that I should have on my radar because it's dark, it's spooky, it's evil, and I like that kind of stuff. And of course, there were demon boobs in it as well. Who doesn't love demon boobs? So Agony was a game that I was actually looking forward to, and I ended up getting a review copy of the game. And wow, I saw some reviews on Metacritic. It's sitting at like a 45 right now, but I figured it was just from people who didn't appreciate the horror genre. I've played bad horror games before, and I still enjoyed them. Games like Run Like Hell, Blue Stinger on the Dreamcast. These weren't great games, but I still had fun with them. I still enjoyed them. I still found something to enjoy. But Agony? No, I didn't find anything to enjoy with this game. If anything, it is now in the top 10 worst games of all time for me. And that includes games like WWE 2K18 on the Switch, Troll and I, and of course Virtual Highlight. This game is just fundamentally broken. It is broken on every level. It is absolutely putrid. It is... God, it just pisses me off. So in this video, we're going to talk about Agony and why it's a game that you should completely avoid unless you're just a sadistic person who likes to torture themselves. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the world of Agony.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards.
So Agony is a game where you basically are cast to hell, and your whole goal of the game is to make your way through hell, avoid demons, and get to the Red Goddess, and basically plead your case to the Red Goddess of why you do not belong in hell, and then try to make your way out of hell and get back to the other world. So that's kind of interesting, and this artist rendition of hell is kind of interesting. You basically start out the game and you're given a brief tutorial that doesn't really tell you a whole lot, and I found that kind of strange, to be honest with you. It tells you basic things like how to pick up things and examine things, but it doesn't tell you basic things on how to like crouch and things like that. And sometimes you have to crouch in order to get to different areas. So I thought that was a bit odd. But as I played the game, I started to sort of see what sort of game this was. It's not a first-person shooter by any stretch of the imagination. There's not really any combat in the game. You can sort of do stealth attacks on the demons and do things like that. You can also pick up a little torch and hit people that are stuck in hell with you, but there's really no point to that because they're not trying to combat you. If anything, they're trying to talk to you and help you along your way. And one of the things I don't like about the game is the whole demon aspect, because I feel like it's very broken. You encounter different demons as you go throughout the game, and sometimes it could be the littlest thing that sets them off. Sometimes it could be, you know, could be completely oblivious to you, and I didn't really understand what sort of decided what that was. Sometimes I would be really stealthy and, you know, hold my breath. You can hold your breath in the game and sort of creep up behind them, and they would notice me. And then sometimes I would just walk right by them because I didn't actually see them on the map, and they wouldn't even come near me. And so wild inconsistencies in the demon's AI, which is sort of the whole point of the game, because you're trying to avoid these demons and further progress through them. But that's sort of an ongoing motif for this game, is just broken and strange inconsistencies. When you die, you're supposedly able to possess other people, but I never really figured out how to do that. I possessed a few people along my way. Supposedly you can possess demons, and you can upgrade abilities through a skill tree that you acquire throughout the game, and you basically get things that add to your skill tree, and then you can level up your character. But it seemed like no matter what I did, it really did not make a difference in how the game played and how the game felt, because like I said, I was never able to possess a weak-minded demon or anything like that. And then you have the whole thing where sometimes you die and they don't even let you possess a demon. They don't let you possess another person on the map, and you're thrown back to a checkpoint. So I'm thinking to myself, I could choose to go back to a checkpoint. So most of the time when I would die and I would be in this sort of possession stage, I would just choose to go back to the checkpoint I was at. But a few times I let the game sort of play out and bring me back to a checkpoint of their choosing. And it's horrible. They just throw you back like way way before where you're supposed to be in the game, and like there's no consistency to it. It's like if you choose to go back to your last checkpoint in the menu, you're much further along than you were than if you choose not to. If you let the game play out and kill you and then you get back into the game. Like sometimes I was thrown way back almost to the start of the game and I was just like, what? Why is this? What's the point of a checkpoint? Why are there different checkpoints based on what you do? Why is it a different checkpoint if I open it in the menu screen as opposed to if I die? Isn't that the whole point of a checkpoint, to be where you just were? I don't know. I couldn't figure out any sort of consistency with that. And you will die a lot in this game. Sometimes you'll die for no reason. I'll just be walking around and then all of a sudden I'm dead. And they won't even let me possess anything because I guess it wasn't supposed to be a death thing for me. It'll just throw me back into a random checkpoint. I literally had this happen to me where I was just walking and I died and nothing happened. There wasn't a demon that was killing me. There wasn't anything. Sometimes demons just pop out of thin air and kill you when you're just walking around. So wild inconsistencies, but maybe there's some redeeming factors here because I do like spooky stuff. I do like horror stuff. Maybe the atmosphere is worth investigating. No, it's pretty much like it was designed by like an edgy 12-year-old. Like you're gonna see demon boobs, you're gonna see like people crushing other people, you're gonna hear weird things from them. There's some interesting set pieces, but everything just looks very low quality. Nothing about this game screams high quality, you know, a game that belongs on the Xbox One or the PS4 or Steam. Everything is just very low resolution and very just stupid almost. Like it's just like trying to go for like a shock factor, but it's not shocking whatsoever because it's just so cheesy that there's nothing to make you go, oh, whoa, that's pretty messed up. It's almost laughable at times how just stupid this game can be in terms of trying to shock you. But maybe the gameplay is decent. You know, I understand maybe the demons are, you know, hard to navigate through and stuff like that. Maybe the performance of the game is great. Let me tell you folks something. This is WWE 2K18 on Nintendo Switch levels of performance. Like, it is so bad. I was just blown away. Sometimes you'll be running and then you'll stop running. There's screen tearing all over the place. Pop up in and out all over the place. Sometimes the game will just start repeating things to you. And I thought to myself, well, maybe the disc is scratched. And then I remembered this isn't a disc. I downloaded a review copy. Like, I don't understand it. Like, sometimes people will just start repeating themselves over and over again. And like not be able to get past their lines, but on the dialogue, on the subtitles on the screen, the dialogue's advancing, and then the people are just like, oh hey, it's like, what? The controls are so broken. It's just like half the time they don't work because the frame rate gets so bad in certain places. And like I said, you'll just be running along or jumping along. Sometimes jump won't work. It's just like, am I playing the game or is the game playing me? Like, is this a psychological torture game? Is this a game to see how much an individual can take when it comes to playing a game before they absolutely snap and set up their camera and film a review for this game? Because it's just an exercise in torture. Agony is a perfect name for this game because this is agonizing to play the game. There's nothing that's consistent about the game. The frame rate is inconsistent. The demons are inconsistent. The story is inconsistent. The gameplay is inconsistent. The world itself is inconsistent. The checkpoint system is inconsistent. There's no consistency. And the crazy thing about this is there's multiple ways to play this game. There's multiple paths to take. There's multiple characters. There's 7 different endings according to the press release of this game. And you know what? I could give a damn about any of those endings because I don't care. This story is absolutely torture. If this is hell, I'm going to church on Sunday because there's no way I want to be stuck playing this game for all of eternity because I feel like that is what hell is like. You're put into a nice room with like a big leather couch and a big screen TV, and then Satan comes along and says, here's your Xbox One controller, and it's like, oh, cool, man, what am I going to play? Oh, you're going to play Agony for the rest of your life. And that would just be the biggest torture of them all. That would be the worst thing in the world because Agony is a broken game. And I'm sure some patches will come along. I'm sure they'll fix things. And I understand it is a smaller studio. This is a $40 title on the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. But honestly, this game should not have been released. There are so many bugs. There are so many issues within the game that just plague it. I wanted to like Agony. I wanted to just enjoy Agony on some sort of level because I feel like there's not enough dark games out there. I feel like there's not enough sort of evilish games out there. I love horror games. I love survival horror games. And a first first-person survival horror game on paper sounds pretty fun in 2018, where you're put into this weird world of hell where you can possess demons and there's a weird story going on and you're trying to escape. That sounds interesting to me, but unfortunately, Agony is just broken. It is agonizing. It literally gave me a headache. I almost threw my controller many times when I would just randomly die for no apparent reason. And God! Do not play Agony. Avoid Agony. If you see it for like $5 in a couple months, because this game is going straight into the bargain bins, maybe. I thought a lot of people were over-exaggerating on Metacritic, but as a fan of horror games, as a fan of survival horror games, and the horror world in general, I think I'm going to be more critical on this game than they are, because this game should have been something cool. This game's been in development for quite a while. I've been following the development of this game, and just to see what it ended up becoming is just miserable to me. It's absolutely terrible. It is absolutely terrible. Do not play this game. Do not play this game. It is the worst game of 2018. It has to be, because nothing else can come along that will make me this angry. Nothing else can come along that will be this broken and fundamentally flawed and just terrible. Just terrible. Alright, so that is my review for Agony on the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam. I played this game on my Xbox One S. This game is getting immediately deleted now that I have done this review, and I will never think of this game again because it is absolutely agonizing. Please, on all seriousness, do not play this game. This is a terrible game. It's really probably the worst game of 2018, and it seriously gives me a headache to just think about playing the game ever again because it's miserable. It's a miserable, agonizing experience. So good job naming the game Agony, because you nailed it. It is agonizing to play this game. So let me know in the comment section down below if you've been following Agony, if you've been following the game, and if you ended up playing the game and picking it up sort of on a blind whim, because I think a lot of people might have picked the game up on a blind whim. It seemed like something different for the PS4 and the Xbox One, but unfortunately, it's different in the fact that it doesn't work. So if you like video games that don't work properly, Agony may be the game for you, but everyone else, steer clear of it. And thank you guys for checking out this video. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. I'm doing all sorts of reviews on this channel, from the PS4, Xbox One, to the Nintendo Switch, to retro reviews. Of course, there's gaming news, all sorts of everything going on in the world of video games. And if you really enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the links in the description box down below. We got Patreon, t-shirts, social media, all sorts of ways to keep up to date with the ever-growing world of RGT 85. I'm going to delete this game off my Xbox One right now and probably take a nap and drink some beer so that I can forget this game ever existed. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.
RGT 85.